What if I told you that success isn't random, it's connected? Every conversation you have, every relationship you build, every small step you take, they're all dots. And when you learn how to connect the dots, when you learn how to connect them with intention, that's when your life, your career, and your future starts to transform. It's all about helping you build better relationships, spot bigger opportunities, and live with greater purpose. I'm Dr. Dave Martin, your success coach, and I want to invite you to join me on the show today and over the next few weeks as we dive into a new series called Connecting the Dots. I don't think you're going to want to miss it. Hey, welcome to the show today. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Share this with somebody that wants to understand how to connect the dots in their life so they can see the big picture of the purpose that they have. It's really on the power of networking, and we're going to do a series over the next several podcasts talking about this. I couldn't be more excited to kick this off and to show you really one big idea through this whole thing that absolutely changed my life is that success isn't random. Well, I didn't just accidentally become successful. There's things that connected to make that happen. Every person you meet, every conversation that you have, every opportunity that you step into, I want you to start thinking of them all as dots that connect together so that you can see the picture. When you learn how to connect them intentionally, okay, that's when the magic begins to happen. So over the next few weeks, we're going to talk about relationships. We're going to talk about influence. We're going to talk about opportunities and how to live and lead intentionally. So if you know anyone in leadership, anyone in sales, anyone in business and management, I'm telling you, anyone that just wants to do well in life, this is going to help them. And don't worry, it isn't going to be your old boring networking tips. Well, I've heard so many stuff on networking. It's not that kind of lecture. No, we're going to keep it real. We're going to keep it practical. And we're going to have a little fun along the way with it as well. Because if you can laugh while you learn, I think that's important. If you can't, what's the point, right? So let's dive in. And the first question I want to ask you this. Are you an accidental networker or are you an intentional networker? Are you an accidental networker or an intentional? Most people are accidental. I mean, they show up at a conference, they shake a few hands, they collect a stack of business cards thicker than a roast beef sandwich at Arby's. Those are pretty thick sandwiches. Then 3 weeks later, they can't even remember who anybody was. Who was? I don't remember who this card. We've all done that before. And if you've ever found that random business card and you're like, who is this? Is it in your pocket from like 2 years the last time you wore that jacket? Well, if that's you, congratulations. You are an accidental networker. But intentional networking is very different. It's about seeing every interaction as a building block for future opportunities. Whenever I go to an event, I immediately begin to make notes in my phone. I meet someone, I sit down, I start making notes. I don't think I'll just remember them. I'll remember what they said. No, I'm putting down their name. I'm putting down where they're from, any details I learned about their family, what we talked about, who introduced us to each other. I put all those things down. I take notes, and I'm going to tell you more about that in a couple weeks. But I'll even take a selfie with them and save it under their contact when I put it in my phone. Maybe I'll post it on social media or tag it to help us connect. Then we connect through social media. So I have this face to remember, and now I have an instant connection online as well. So these are some quick follow-up tips, keeps the door open for future opportunities. All right, that's what we're going to be talking about today. So stop just hoping that you're going to get some connections and start building some connections, okay? Invest in people. This is important. And you got to do this. Everything I'm going to teach you, you got to do this without expecting anything in return. Oh, really? I thought we'd network just because I could get something. No, you invest in people before you need anything. And most people wait a little bit too late. And so in my book, Mindset Matters, I tell the story about if you don't have that book, by the way, make sure you get a copy of Mindset Matters. It's a book that I believe will really challenge you and really help you. But I tell the story about a time early in my career when I needed some help. I desperately needed some help, and I thought about who I could call, and I realized that I hadn't invested enough in relationships to have anyone that I could really lean on, and it was kind of a wake up call for me. Years ago, a mentor of mine had asked me, he said, "What?" He said, well, he made the statement. He said, 2 a.m. is a lousy time to make friends. 2 a.m. is a lousy time. And I thought, what does that mean? And as I began to understand it, I made a real intentional point. I made it a point to build relational equity before I needed it. Because I had a guy that flipped on my Facebook, and there he was on Facebook Live at 3 o'clock in the morning. Needed help. He needed $5,000. He was in a desperate place and in a need, and he didn't know what else to do. And I'd got up to go to the bathroom, and I just turned my Facebook on, and I forgot that he could see me. He goes, "Dr. Dave Martin's on here, Dave." And I'm like, oh, shoot. I got off turned it off real quick, and he started texting me. He said, "Hey, I just saw you were online. Hey, is there any way I could borrow some money? I need about $5,000. And I'm like, I don't really know this guy like that. I mean, I knew him, but not like that. And I Venmo'd him, I think, $300 or something like that. I said, I can help, a little bit. Now, I could have given him the whole $5,000. I had it, but I didn't know him like that. He called me when he got desperate. He didn't call me before. We didn't have a relationship. And I'm thinking, how many people did he already call before he even went live on Facebook in the middle of the night? And it reminded me, I was talking to a couple friends the next day, and it reminded me of this statement that my mentor made to me when he said 2 a.m. is a lousy time to make friends. And I thought, well, so is 3 a.m. because this guy was trying to become friends and buddy up to me at 3 a.m. when he should have been building. And I asked one of my friends, I said, how many people do you think you could call at 3 a.m. if you were desperate? He said, I don't know, probably maybe 2 people. Another one of the guys said, I don't know, maybe 5 people. Then they turned it on me. They said, Dave, how many people do you think you could call at 3 a.m.? I said, I could probably call 40, 45 people. They're like, no way. But see, I started digging my well before I got thirsty. And most people wait till they're dying of thirst before they even start scratching the dirt. And so I'm real intentional. Start investing in relationships now so that you're not empty when the time comes, when the need arises. So here's the deal. Relational capital will open more doors than financial capital ever will. Relational capital will open more doors than financial capital. I mean, I can lose my money, I can lose my job, I can lose my hair, which I have actually. But when you build real trusted relationships, see, I have a currency that no economy can take away. I might lose a friend, I might lose a job, but if I have relational equity, if I have a currency in my relationships, I can get more money, I can get another job. See, I'm reminded of a friend of mine who closed a multi-million-dollar deal, and they didn't close it. She didn't close it because she was the least expensive person to hire to get it done. She didn't close it because she was the best technically. She closed it because she had the right relationships. She had the right phone numbers in her phone. One phone call, one person who trusted her. All of a sudden, boom, the door swung wide open. So understand the value of relational equity in building the life that you dream of. I travel almost every week, and I fly into cities where I know someone. Even if it's been years, I'll text them, hey, man, thinking about you. I'm in your city. Got a minute for coffee? Love to catch up. Or even if, hey, man, I'm just flying through, but when I hit the Atlanta airport, I thought of you. And so no agenda, right? No, don't need anything, just a relational deposit. I was thinking about you. I care. You're on my mind. So today I want you to do something. I'm going to give you some action steps over the next few podcasts and shows as we're together. But I want you to send a message today to 3 people, okay? 3 people, you might want to write this down or make a note of it, who you haven't talked to in a long time. Send a message to 3 people you haven't talked to in a long time. Small interactions matter. Okay? Small interactions. It's just a text. What good's that going to do? I just actually did this this morning, and got a text back from the guy. We started talking. We haven't talked in probably about 5 years. But you might meet someone today, and it seems like, oh, that's not a big deal. It's small. But 5 years from now, that could be a relationship that changes your life. I could tell you stories for hours and hours of how people who were once drivers, who were once interns, who were assistants, who were pastors of great churches, maybe leaders of companies, run $1 million organizations. They used to be the person who drove me. They used to be the person who was an assistant that I dealt with. Now they're doing these great things. I learned a long time ago. It's how you treat the important. It's not how you treat the important people that really defines you. It's how you treat everyone that defines you. I say it like this: be nice to the chauffeur. He may be your only ride to the palace. You never know who's going to be that connection. At some point, I'll tell you a story about one of the biggest opportunities in my life that came from being nice to a lady who was pouring me a cup of tea. But she made a connection that opened up the greatest stages in the world to me. See, it doesn't pay to not be kind. Every relationship matters. And I remember being picked up by a driver once at a conference, and most people, he said, just kind of ignored him. They got in the car, got on their phone. He was just the driver, right? And I spent the ride getting to know him, talking to him. Well, fast forward a few years later, and that same driver now is one of the greatest motivational, inspirational speakers in America right now, and has opened up some doors for me that's given me a couple of incredible events. So you never know. I remember years ago, I was Jensen Franklin's driver, and he was kind to me. He's a great friend of mine today, and only because he was kind to me when I was his driver. I wouldn't have talked to him after that. But you never know. You never know who someone will become. He's probably glad he was nice to me. But treat every person you meet today like they are already important, because they are. They're important to God. And in the future, they might just be really important to you too. All right. Let me give you another one. Let's get practical for just a minute. I'm gonna give you 5 strategies that you can start using immediately. Okay, 5 strategies. Number 1, be a giver, not a taker. Okay, be a giver. Instead of asking what you can get, remember I told you at the very beginning, all this we're doing with not expecting anything in return, right? How can I help other people? So I'm not asking what I'm going to get out of it. I'm looking for what I can give to the relationship. I'm a giver, not a taker. How can I solve a problem? How can I share a resource? How can I make an introduction? I remember the first day I met Ed Milet. I was a giver, not a taker. And Ed Milet wanted to connect with Joel Osteen. And I said, you know what, let me make a phone call. Called Joel, and within probably a week, they were together doing a podcast, doing each other's podcast, and I made that connection that I expected. Hey, I'm going to connect you with Joel, but I need you to connect me with whoever it might be, right? I was going to say Grant Cardone, but I already know him. I was trying to think of somebody, but anyway, you see what I'm saying? Be a giver, not a taker. And then number two, secondly, follow up. These are just good networking skills, and it will help you build. Follow up and stay in touch, okay? The fortune is in the follow-up. That's what counts. I know people that meet a whole lot of people but have no follow-up. A thinking of you text can make all the difference. It can revive a relationship faster than you could ever imagine. Number 3, show up where the right people are. I'm going to talk about that in a couple of weeks. You can't connect with people if you're not in the room. You got to get in the room. You got to be in the right place. So you got to invest the time. And a lot of times it's resources you've got to invest to get in the room, but you got to show up. Number 4, build a reputation for excellence. This will make a difference. Your name is your brand. Even the Bible talks about that in Proverbs, about all you have is your name and the value of your name. Your name is your brand. So you've got to protect it fiercely. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, protect it. Do what you say you're going to do. Don't be one of those people like, yeah, they're a great person, but you can't believe nothing they say. I know they said they'd do that, but I doubt they'll actually ever get it done. Do what you said you're going to do. Do it with excellence. Your reputation, your name is all you've got. Your reputation, let it be excellent. Let it be excellent. And then I'd encourage, here's another one, ask better questions. Instead of talking about yourself. You ever got with someone and you meet them and you start talking and 30 minutes later they're still talking about them and all they've done and all they've accomplished and all the people they know? Stop talking about everybody you know and dropping every name that you can. Ask some questions. Ask them questions. Hey, what's something exciting that you're working on? Oh man, great to meet you. What's a challenge you're facing right now? Look for ways that you can connect. Maybe ask them about their family, their favorite place to vacation. We'll talk more about that as well. But those are just some practical steps. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to pick one of those strategies today. Pick one of them today and put it into action. All right? Pick one, put it into action. Like I said in the very beginning, success isn't random. It's not random. It's connected. And every great future that you're dreaming about, the goals you want to accomplish, the things that you want to do, it's on the other side of a relationship. Maybe it's a relationship that you've had a long time. Maybe it's a relationship that you're just starting today. Maybe it's a relationship that you haven't even connected with. But I believe your future is on the other side of a relationship. So ask yourself, am I being intentional with my connections? Right? Am I following up? When I meet someone, am I writing down some things that I know about them or that I learned about them so that I can remember those things? That's all being intentional. Am I making an effort to get in the right rooms with the right people? There's a whole lot of conferences, but I know which conferences I should be at and don't need to be at. I'm intentional about the relationships that I'm building. And the seasons change. That may change as well. Am I investing in people before I need them? Like I said, don't start digging your well once you're dying of thirst. You're scratching at the ground. Dig your well before you get thirsty. And then ask yourself this, am I collecting dots or am I connecting dots? Now, you've got to collect them to connect them, but a lot of people collect a lot of dots and never connect the dots. So I want you to shift your mindset, okay? We're shifting our thinking, shifting our mindset. Remember I told you mindset matters. I mentioned that book again. Maybe that means you're supposed to get it. Maybe grab a copy of the book Mindset Matters, because a lot of this is changing the way you look at things. Most of the things in our life, if we just change the way we look at things, the things that we're looking at would begin to change. So understand the importance of your mindset. But shift your mindset, be intentional, and then start connecting the dots. All right? That's just the start. Don't miss the next podcast. We're going to continue talking about the power of our relationships, the power of our networks. Share this today. Maybe you know someone that, they need to hear some of this. This would be good. I think everybody needs to hear this. No matter what arena of life you're in, these are all powerful, practical things that you're going to need for building the life that I call it the ultimate life. Ultimate means the best. Life is a way of living. So the ultimate life is the best way of living. So you want to learn the best way of living. Hey, join me next week on the show, and I promise you, we're gonna just keep going deeper into this. Like, subscribe, so then you get the notification, so you know we're on. And hey, I would love to hear one thing you learned today. go down to those comments and let me hear something that you say, man, that was that's good. I can start using that right away. All right. Hey, this is Dr. Dave, your success coach, and I'll see you the next time right here on the Dave Martin Show.